it's not something that everyone wants to ask, but I think it's a really good question to ask. Fire away.
Okay, with all the talk of the paedophiles in the news recently,
Yeah.
when paedophiles pass over, how are they received
Okay.
back in heaven?
Right. When they get back to head office or heaven, or head office as I like to call it, what happens to people like who are paedophiles or really negative people done really bad things?
Animal abusers, same thing.
Yeah, wherever we pigeonhole these people, anyone that's done negativity, so if I'm not just taking this group, but I'm taking all the ones that done really bad things in their life, and I mean really bad, they don't run riot over there. And in the spirit world, there's many, many different layers. They talk of 7 layers, but there's thousands of harmonics between those levels. So the people who are negative, and you can't blag your way up there because your aura is very clear of where you are and what you're doing and all the rest. You can't say, don't worry, I was fine. It was a bit of a mistake. It doesn't work like that. You know, your aura and karma pays its debts, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, we sow lots of good karma all the time, but we don't realise it. We think, well, that's just me being me, but you make such an effect. But obviously people who do something negative have quite an effect on those sort of people. So to get to the point where answering your question, anyone who's done something really bad, and you mentioned paedophiles, they are secure in a level, and it's not a level, I was just going to say it sounds like a joke, not a level with the devil, but it's a lower level where those people are not allowed to wander free to be a pain and terrorise the upper levels where they're more spiritual. And they don't come out of that level until they have an awareness, not go, yeah, I've accepted that I made a big mistake, I won't do it again, but you know what people are like, you know, they'll go and do it again and all the rest. But the vibration changes, so the words have no effect. And if you think about what we do, words don't really have an effect. You sense behind those words. Yeah? So those people stay there, and they work with high-level guides. The high-level guides don't come in and give them a damn good thrashing, although that was how we would want to do it on the earth plane.
But we're meant to give love to bad
Yeah.
and good people, aren't we?
But if you give someone negative, because they've done negative overall, you have to contain them, a bit like a policeman. Yeah? But then they have a time of reconciliation, and they either come to their senses or they don't. And there's many situations on the earth plane where people have gone to prison, realised their mistake, and have been really wonderful people.
Yeah.
And you may have noticed before, because I repeat myself as my age, years ago I went to Kingston Prison and I interviewed a murderer down there. But they allowed me into the prison, shut the door behind the visiting centre, and let me wander around. I thought, they're having a laugh. I really did, you know. I wasn't that old then. I was over 20 probably. Yeah, but I wasn't, you know, much more than that. And but he could have been the nicest person I've ever met. He was wonderful. He'd made a mistake. He got into a brawl with someone, and it was in his house. And as though he lashed out with a knife he found on the side, and functioned one swipe of it, and he killed this other chap. And that's tragic, you know, whether it's by accident or whether it's not, or whether he was protecting himself. And I'm not here to validate or say what he did was right or wrong. It was obviously wrong when you take a life like that. But he'd spent all his time and his monies he'd earned, a little bit of monies, making Bibles for the blind and producing those Bibles and stuff like that. So that was the rest of his life doing that. I had no fear I had a fear walking into the prison. I had a bigger fear when the guard just shut me behind and let me wander in. I thought, yeah, it's your birthday, isn't it? This is going to be interesting for me. I won't need the tape recorder I've come in to interview. I'll have to back my way out. But my experience taught me that even when people make mistakes, once they realise they made that mistake, they still got their karma. His karma, he's still in prison. Yeah? He's not out to wander. And I'm not talking about, you know, the judicial system, because you could talk about that, you know, from year to day. But in the spirit world, in those heavenly places, they are contained. And they can't get out until they come to their senses.
If they don't come to their senses and they don't accept what they've done, and we have free will to reincarnate,
Yeah.
would they be allowed to reincarnate?
No.
Not having...
No, they hold those back because basically they're just going to run riot.